Hello, my name's Lyndsey of Wild Seed Calligraphy, and today I'll be demonstrating how you can create a lettering piece like this using an Italic pen from Manuscript pen company. This is a beginner's workshop. It's not complete italic, it's more like italic handwriting, so anyone can do it using the tools that I will demonstrate today. So we're creating this lovely piece because Burns Night is coming up, and I thought it's a great poem that we can write. I've also, you can just about see, I've just added some tiny embellishments with some gold ink, which is this one from Manuscript Pen Company. Now, you can use this kit, which is this pen, perfect for this. And also if you have the Deluxe calligraphy set, which looks like this. Okay, and the nib that I'm using is a 2B nib, which works perfectly. And if you have a line height, if you're writing on a book, a lined book, 10mm or a centimetre height is perfect, I believe, for this. If you have the Deluxe calligraphy set, you will also get this lovely book inside it, and this book will show you how to do the lettering as well. So bear with me while I open it up. So you have all the alphabets in here and demonstrations on how to write. Okay, so all the lowercase alphabet, which I'll be showing you today. This is a great book. You can also use, which I'll be using today, is the calligraphy parchment paper from, again, Manuscript. It's a great paper. It comes in different shades of colours. I'm just using the top one at the moment. It's just a lovely quality paper to write on, and you just get a great results, especially with these italic pens. When you receive your pens, you will have the choice of, you'll have the pen holder here, and you'll have a choice of what nib size to use. So I'm using a 2B italic. Okay, and you also have a choice with the Deluxe calligraphy set whether you want to use a cartridge or you want to use the refillable cartridge. So I'm going to use a refillable one for the Deluxe, and here I've used just the blue ink from this for the final piece that I was demonstrating earlier on. So it's a, all you have to do is, you can see here, just got the little glass bead there. So what you want to do is push it into here, all to the point where it kind of, you feel it pop, and then you put it on, and then just give it, I tend to give it a couple of squeezes to get the ink flowing, and then just push down very gently a couple of times to help get the ink flowing through there. So this is what I use for this one. I'm just going to demonstrate how to use an ink from Manuscript Pen Company with their refillable cartridge. So this is the Enchanted Seas ink. It's a metallic. Sometimes you'll find that it separates, that's just the pigment. I give it a bit of a shake. You can kind of see how metallic always wants to go to the bottom. So just give it a shake to mix it up quite nicely, or probably a twist so you don't get any bubbles, might be a bit better. So twist it around your fingers. Okay, and let's just open it up. You just want to make sure this is pushed down, and what you're going to do is you pop that into the pot, and then you're just going to pull it out gently up to there, and then you've got your ink cartridge. So I'm going to pop it in here, let it pour the ink into the cartridge, and there we go. Just going to get rid of any bubbles, and then we're going to pop this into here until it goes in. You kind of feel it. It's not a click, but you kind of just feel it push into place, okay? And you can't push any further than that. And you shouldn't be able to do anything damage to it, so won't worry. And what I tend to do is just give it a little push from here to get the ink flowing back through. Be really careful, because you can just have a bit of a disaster if you push too much. Sometimes I'll do a little shake like that, and you know that the ink is coming out of the nib. So we're going to push down a few times. Get it going. There we go. And now it's flowing out of the pen. Just keep going until I know it's definitely working. Beautiful. If you purchase the Manuscript Deluxe calligraphy set, you'll also find you have these sheets in there, which are guidelines. And I can see you've got sheets for 2B and sheets for 4B nib. Now I know we're using a 2B nib, but I would like to use the 4B because this is quite a nice size to practice with when you're learning calligraphy. So what we can do is use our parchment paper that we've got from Manuscript. We can have this directly in front of us, and we hold our pen like this, and we hold it slightly more upright. So pointed pen, you'd hold it quite low to the surface, but we want it slightly more upright. Okay, kind of looks a little bit like this. Put this here a minute. So with the pointed pen, like copper plate would be more like this, but we want it to be more upright. So you see the position of the pen on my hand like this. Okay, and that allows you to get the edge of the nib. Now, with this style of calligraphy, I'll just do a little box here for you. Imagine this is the perfect drawn box. The pen is angled at 45 degrees, so we're writing it, let's get the ink flowing again, this angle. So we're writing, a pen is positioned this way, so go up that way, down, up, down, up, down. This is a good little warm-up actually. Up, down, up, down. You can then practice how you have the pen held. Okay, just like that. I'm going to zoom in for you. You want the nice hairlines like this. Up, oops, up, down, up, down. So if you're struggling with the angle, it's 45 degrees, so you can draw yourself a little box. There, that's how you want your pen to be positioned. Okay, now we're only doing italic handwriting, so we're not going to go into all the fine details. We're not going to worry about anything like this to begin with. Okay, we just want to get the lettering on these, between these two lines, and we're going to do lowercase apart from the letter I. So let's begin with the letter A. So we start here, give it a little wiggle as well, gets the ink flowing and gets things in the right position. So give it a little wiggle and then down, and then we kind of want to come up to here like that, and then across, and then down, and then back out again. Okay, so what we're going to practice is to do a line down. So we go up, down, and then out like that. What you can do to get a thinner line is, I tend to just try to get it on the edge of the nib here. Okay, just that left hand time, and drag the ink through. So you can try that as well. If that's too difficult, just up, so wiggle, down, and then up like that. So we do the A again. So we're going down, up to there, across, down, and then out. Okay, so now for the B. So we start up here, little wiggle, pull down, just change the angle slightly, up, over, down, and through. C, I'm going to do it in one big go. C, D, similar to the A, down, up, pull that across a bit more if you wanted to, then out. Let's do that again in one go. D, E, I'm doing it in one loop, and then F, which is my favourite. I'm just going to start there, down, and then through like that. A little wiggle and a cross out. So you can have lots of fun and really drag that out if you want. Pull this over the top too, and things like that. G, very similar to the D in the A. We do this, get the wiggle going, down, up, across, through, and then pull it through like that. H, start up here, or H, get the ink flowing again, down, and then similar to the B, you kind of want to slightly angle it a little bit. So take your pen off paper, bring it more at this angle, up, down, and then out. I, this angle here, then out, and then a little line at the top like that. that little flick. J, start here, and then you're going to finish very similar to the G. And then just twist. And then this as well. K, start seeing repetition now, it's this again, the ascender line. And then we come out this angle, down, down, and then out. L, this, and then out. M is very similar to the B, so you start seeing the repetition of the shape. So B would be down, and then we come out like that. The same with the H really. And the M is similar, where we go up, down, and we want this arc here. Down, and then up, down, and then a little flick out. The flick outs make a lot more sense if you're going to join it up. It really helps. The M is essentially this part here. For N, down, flick it out, down. O, I'm going to do, you can do it this way to there, and you can bring this down as well, like that. Or go try and do handwriting, you can do it in one go. P, do this up for you. It's easy. Too many things on my desk. P, up, down. I'm going to flick it. I prefer to do that, my P's. Same with the B now, that's shape. Q, it's this shape, and then just bring it down to there. R is like the B, where we do this, and we just want it going that way. So I am changing my angle ever so slightly, you might have noticed that. So we're going 45 degrees down, and then as I'm coming out, I want it to be a slightly, because I want it to be hairline, so I want it to go up. So 45 degrees down would look like this, and the hairline that I'm doing, kind of, you can see the difference in the thickness of the strokes. S, I'm just going to do this for my S's, nice and light. T is halfway, okay? So where, imagine we had a, I don't know, an L, and it's going to there. A T is halfway, like copper plate. Halfway in that ascender gap. So, whoops, daisy, get this sorted. Down, out, and then a little flick across. So do that again. Down, out, and then flick across. U is down and slightly try to round it, otherwise it's going to look like a V. U. V for this is going to be this, and then we're going to go out like that. All right. Can do another one of those things. W is this, and then we're going to go down and then back out. It looks like this. Do it again. W is like this. Up, down and out. And then what you can do is just fill in any things that are missing. X. Here we go. X. X. Y. And then Z. So for the next bit, you can use the guidelines here and write along them first. You can also join me in creating a little border. If you are really struggling and you don't know how to start, just get a pencil as well and you can trace over it. So these are the shapes that you're creating. So we're not joining that because we're not going to have that pressure on ourselves, okay? There. So you can do that and you can trace over it. I'll just demonstrate how it looks when you trace over it. Okay, so you can start doing that. That's absolutely fine. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this piece, putting the borders if I do. Okay, so I wanted this to be slightly, I don't know, wavy. I think it looks really nice and just really fun. And I'm just gonna guess, you can get like bendy rulers that will help you with this, but I'm just gonna do ever such a slight wave like this, and I want it to be a centimetre-ish here. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of space in between the lines. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another line. They don't have to be exact, you want it to look a little bit different. And then I do one of these. And then I want another line. And I want everything to look slightly different every time. So we've got 3 lines, we want another 2. I'm trying to keep it all central, okay? I want the quote to be in the middle of the paper. One more. That's nice and straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to pop a line here. And I'm just going to pop another one here because this is the poem's author. So you can see there, this is how I want it to look. And now, as demonstrated earlier on, you can write it all out in pencil first, so you can mock it up. I would probably use a mechanical pencil, maybe over HB. It's completely up to you. You're just going to have to erase it afterwards, so think about that. Right, now let's see how we can get this working. Let's make sure our ink is coming out of our nib nice and smoothly. I have a little scrap bit of paper on the side now. I'm just going to push down to get the ink flowing, and we're just going to write. Okay, my guidelines are all drawn up, so let's get started. Making sure there's enough ink flowing through my nib on a scrap bit of paper to the side. Here we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. We want to just trying to figure out how to get the basics. We want it to be really organic looking. You can do lots of different sizes here as well. A little diamond instead of a comma. Go wherever. Again, instead of a comma, I'm just going to do a little diamond. Ink flowing. crossbar here, flick it out. Flick there for the eye. Start there. And then we're going to do a little oops. And if you're keen eye, you see that I have spelt this one wrong, and it should be wonder, W-A-N. So we're just going to fix that. Oh, maybe rubber bands doesn't want me to fix it. There you go. And then what you can do is you can get your calligraphy ink and get your pointed pen nib and straight pen holder. Just get a couple of these, a couple little dots around, dots different sizes all around the work, and then when that dries it looks really pretty. Do little crosses as well if you would, and all little stars, you'll see. 2. And here is the final piece. So we take an eraser and we just erase all the lines that are there. I've left it a good 24 hours to dry because I'm very impatient and I tend to ruin lovely bits of work like this by trying to erase over wetting. There's always a dodgy patch that will just try to catch you out. Just do it gently. So sometimes when you do this you can pull the paper, so you can do it in just going in one direction. Like a soft white rubber works really well, or you can hold your paper taut and do that. Get rid of anything there. So this is the final piece. Just a little word of reminder that when we use a metallic ink like this, the little pigments can sometimes block your fountain pen, okay? So if you're using this in a reusable cartridge, just remember to flush out the pen and clean the cartridge out and flush that out a couple of times to make sure that the pigment doesn't dry in there, and then you should be well on your way. So I really hope you enjoyed that workshop.